What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and let's get into the markets. First, looking at the Dow, then the DXY, and then Bitcoin, and why I think we still have much lower lows coming this year for pretty much all the markets except the DXY. And I'll explain why. We've been talking about this for over a year. I know a lot of people are calling the bottom in, which it could be. That's possible, right? I don't think it is, and I have my invalidation point for my charts that we've had for over a year. We're going to talk about that, look at it, and see what's going on. So the Dow, very bearish. Remember, I had said if the Dow cannot get over this 34,250, we remain bearish in all markets except the DXY, which you can see what's happened. We are dumping now. Now, if we don't get a bounce at this 32,250, our next stop is around 30,950, but obviously there's going to be some bounces in there. There's going to be some up days, and it is Friday. Oh, before I go any further, make sure you guys take 1 second out, scroll down, smash that thumbs up, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the videos. Also share them if you would, help get them out there in front of others. You can also follow me on Twitter. My link is down below in the description. I'll leave it in a pinned comment also. All right, so that's what I'm looking for right now. Like I said, our first major bounce. There will be bounces. This is a daily chart. You can see that you don't get red candles that go down 10,000 in the Dow Jones, right? You're going to get bouncy days. So this is Friday. A lot of times they try to pump the markets at the end on Fridays, at the end of the day for traditional markets. We'll see what happens today. So just be careful with that. And also remember, it's a weekend, so we could get crazy volatility spikes for Bitcoin. But in the macro, we're going to take a look at what's going on. I'll also get into the 4-hour and show you our support and resistance levels that we've been talking about all week in the 4-hour. So as you can see, the DXY, I told you guys, 104.67 would also be our 200 EMA. I told you if we break above that, Bitcoin's going to get bullish. Now, if we closed the daily below that, that means tonight by, I think, 6 p.m., somewhere in there, it closes for the DXY. If it closed below there, then maybe this was a fake out for the DXY, but I don't think so, guys. I told you, once we break this, I look for 108. And does that mean we get a green candle straight up? No, it does not. It don't have to. Obviously, it could. This could take time, but this is our next target. Once we get above this target, then our next target is the old high here. Once we break that, guys, the DXY is on a huge rally. I've been talking about it forever. I think the traditional markets, along with Bitcoin, are in a massive bear market still, much lower lows to come. And remember, guys, Bitcoin, the people that just watch Bitcoin and tell you why Bitcoin is bullish and whatever, and they're not paying attention to traditional markets, they have no clue how markets work. They're going to get you wrecked. They got you wrecked all last year. Be careful, guys. There are validation and invalidation points, not parts. When you are charting, there is a macro view, and I've been showing it, that unless a certain area is crossed, we are macro bearish. And I'm going to show you why this bubble pop is not finished, in my opinion. So the DXY, bullish, guys. The monthly, okay, we're going to take a look at the weekly first, right? Last week, we were looking at this higher high in the RSI, lower high in the price action. I told you if we closed above this 24,362, that would invalidate the hidden bearish divergence. We did not. We closed below, and it validated the hidden bearish divergence. Now, if you zoom in here and look at the higher high here, lower high here on the RSI, that's regular divergence, bearish divergence. Everything is pointing to the downside, guys. Here's the monthly. Now, if we close the monthly, we've been talking about this all month. If we close the monthly below 23,327, that validates this hidden bearish for divergence. A close above invalidates it. If it gets invalidated, then and only then will I consider we could go up to the 31.5 range. And remember, my invalidation point on the weekly chart, we need a weekly open and close above 25.8 to be at all. Well, actually open and close above the 55 EMA, which I had at 25.8. We haven't crossed back over it yet. So depending on where it's at, open and close of a weekly candle, the same candle above 25.8 would be, I would consider calling the bottom in by then. But as of right now, I think we got lower to go, guys. All right, if you guys are interested in trading before we go into the smaller time frames, definitely check out Prime XBT. You can trade traditional markets, natural gas, gold, silver, forex, all kinds of stuff from one exchange, crypto, without having to have multiple accounts and whatnot. They don't trade against you. By far my favorite exchange. They do help sponsor the channel. You can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus to use towards your margin. Savvy25 will get you up to 25%. Well, it will get you 25% off of your trading fees. So definitely check them out if you haven't already. There's also, if you guys just want to learn to trade on an exchange, you can join the free contests. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can play with the exchange so you get to get familiar with it, know how to use it. Definitely check it out. I'll leave a link down below also in the pinned comments. I'll leave a tutorial at the end of the video too. So the daily chart, guys, remember we broke out of this falling channel. Bullish case, like I said, is we open and close a weekly above the 25.8, and then we could look for that 31.5. That's the bullish case. You guys know that I am not bullish, but we have to look at the possibilities. That's a measured move from this falling wedge right here. Also the measured move of the breakout of this channel. But since we broke that top trend line on the channel, I really don't, I'll keep it there because obviously you're going to get some support and resistance there, but I don't think that the measured move measuring the channel up counts anymore because we did break that top trend line twice. So that's why I'm looking at there. But again, if we get above this 25.8, open and close a weekly above that, then we could see that 31.5. But if it even gets up in this area, I will short the living crap out of it. But all in all, you guys know my big picture. I've been talking about it for over a year. I was saying February or March, we would see a false bottom somewhere between 75 and 9,500. That number could be off a little bit, but I still think the false bottom will be in February or March. And the true bottom, you can check my video from December 2nd, 2021, where I started talking about the Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart. September or October 2023 is where I look for the bottom. Could be as low as 3,500 to 4,500 bucks. Way down here. Possibility. Is it a guarantee? Nothing's a guarantee in any market, but it's still very possible. Nothing is invalidated yet. Let's take a look at the 4 hours. So the 4 hour, we talked about this yesterday. Once we broke down from this triangle, our measured move is 22,218. And guys, these numbers aren't to the dollar. Approximately 22.2 to 22.3 would be our next area to bounce. If it came down and ended up lining up with this bottom trend line, that would be sometime the first week of March. That would be a long trip down, which, you know, that's how this works. Remember, guys, they don't just go straight down, although they can. But where is your first point of support here is around 23,150. And that's our old trend line coming across here. Expect possible bounce there. You know, it may bounce around this area. I showed you guys what it may look like. We drew this in there a few days ago. Something like this, you know, something similar. So it'll take time. But if we do get down to this 18, this could be, you know, sometime in the second week of March. As you guys know, I still think we may see new lows in March. Could it take till April? Possibly. But either way, you could be off a month or two. But I still believe we are getting new lows. Unless we can break this 25.8 range, right? That would also break us out of this rising broadening wedge. What is the measured move of the break of the rising broadening wedge? Well, if it was to break sometime next week, actually this weekend or next week, break 21.8. Now that doesn't mean it gets to our target that fast, although it could. But once this blue trend line is broken, then our target is around 1,800. So, or 18,000, I'm sorry. So if it takes longer to break and it is over in this range, you know, the first week of March, somewhere in there, gets it a little higher to about 18.3. But that's what I'm looking for here, guys. By March, I think we see at least, or by the end of March, we see at least 18, but I think we could possibly see new lows, and I'll show you why. Here is the Bitcoin compared to Amazon charts, right? So I showed this many times, right? I think we'd see a false bottom. You can see this false bottom here. This one happened when the weekly trend line broke. And I told you guys all year, once the weekly trend line broke, look for a false bottom and then a new bottom to come. Now, could this have been the false bottom? It is possible. Either way, we see new lows. We will break these lows, in my opinion. Is it guaranteed? No. But what are the charts saying? Yes. This was the invalidation point, 25.8, which is our 55 EMA right there. We've had that, talked about that for all year, right? A break of the 55 would invalidate the chart. We have not broken the 55, and I don't mean a wick. I mean an open and close of a weekly candle, right? False bottom sometime in February, March, possibly is April, right? I've always said February and March, right? So, oh my God, if it's April, I was off a month, and Savvy should shut his channel down. Trolls, man, they're funny. Anyways. Another rally then, and I think September, October, same thing I've said for over a year, will be our true bottom, possibly 35 to 4,500. But either way, even if you're going to get this for sure, you're going to get a bounce in this area, 75 to 8,500, somewhere in that range. Could go as low as 65, depending on how panicky people get and how bad the sell-off is for the false bottom, right? Which would be a good time to get into Bitcoin. Obviously, buy some, if that way you're not left out if a lower low after the next low doesn't come. So get a little bit, maybe, whatever you put in, take out on the way up in profits. So it's free money. But remember, guys, everybody's financial situation is different. So you have to do what's right for you. So if you're dollar cost averaging, make sure you're dollar cost averaging with money you're not going to need in the future, 2 or 3 years. You have no reason to worry about having to pull it out. And just be careful. A lot of these people telling you what to do, they were telling you to buy all up in here. And a lot of people are wrecked and hurt and put in money they couldn't afford to lose, and they are just screwed. How many times do we hear Bitcoin never below 40, Bitcoin never below 38, Bitcoin never below 30? Bitcoin never below 20, and it all happened, guys. And so tons of people have lost tons of money up here listening to them, guys. Why you're still listening to them, guys, I have no idea, but be careful. They will always say they called the bottom because they called it here, 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 they called it here for over a year, right? What we've looked at is the macro, and we've always had the same invalidation point. So let's say this was the bottom, right? I had always said, even if I will not buy into Bitcoin until we break this low, get to at least the false bottom, right? Or we break the 25.8. Even if we get that weekly close above the 25.8 open and close, I'll still be buying lower than where all these guys were telling you to buy in. And you didn't miss anything, right? Now, let me show you how in other charts. This is a Nintendo bubble pop, right? And remember, guys, after these true bubbles pop, it's many, many years before they reach all-time high again. I've been talking about this for a long time. It could be up to 10 years before Bitcoin breaks its all-time high. It is a bubble pop pattern, guys. Here's a false bottom in Nintendo, right? It dropped 72%, right? Before it got its bounce. Bitcoin dropped 77% before it got its bounce, right? How big was the bounce here? Let's move this up. How big was this bounce? This was 65% right here. 65%. Bear market rally. Boom, new lows, right? What's this one? 65%. Bear market rally. New lows coming, guys. And if it was to do the same percentage as Nintendo, then the bottom would be around 7,600, right? Let's look at Sony. Same thing. Look at this. Sony had a few of them. Sony took a long time to bottom. Once these bubbles pop, guys, they don't shoot straight back up, right? They take a lot of time to recover. Reason being, a lot of confidence is lost in the market. Lots of people lost money. And then there's years of accumulation, right? Speculation. As you can see, this one, initial drop was 79%. Remember, Bitcoin's initial drop was 77. Was it 77? Yeah, 77%. And then the rally here was 84%. Bitcoin has rallied so far 65%. If it was to go the same distance as the Sony bubble pop, would be around $4,300. right along with our Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart, guys. This pop is not over. The bubble's not done popping. Let's take a look at Binance. Binance, as most of you know, I've been showing this for a long time. I think Binance is in serious trouble. I started talking about this about 4 or 5 months ago. People call it fudge. You can call it whatever you want. I'm not calling them out on anything. I'm showing you what the charts say. Looks just like FTX right before the crash. Looks just like Luna right before the crash. Looks just like Celsius right before the crash. Binance is in trouble, guys. I think some serious trouble for Binance is coming. He can only sell his BNB coins to prop up stuff for so long, right? Or his BUSD to prop up BNB. Just be careful, guys. I think there's way sketchy stuff going on in here. Do I have proof? No, but I do have charts that are telling me the same thing that, you know, it's all in the charts, guys. How many, for those of you that watch this channel, how many times have we called huge moves opposite of what everybody else was saying just by looking at the charts, and then some big news came out to make what we were seeing happen? Be careful. Gold, silver, oil, I did those all yesterday. Check them out. Nothing's changed there. Nothing's changed in any of these markets, really. It's just doing what we've called for over a year. Make sure you guys check out these videos up top, the Prime XBT tutorial and my December 2nd, 2021, where I told you about all of this happening. Have a great weekend, guys. Don't forget to smash the likes, leave your comments down below, and share this video. I'm out.